York.
The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent those of the staff, management, or owners of WGBB.
And welcome once again to Late Night Parents. I'm Ted Hicks. We also have Richie V in the building. We want to send a broadcasting from Long Island, New York, West Babylon for our local listeners. Want to send a big shout to our newest affiliate, 97.7 in the Villages. That's in Central Florida. Richie V, broadcasting to our friends in the U.S. and abroad. We are here.
Here we are. We are here. What's going on, Teddy Ted? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Just running around. It's been a busy couple of days.
Yeah?
So just, I'm here.
I guess before we even get to any topics, I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Michele, who is not with us for the show. Busy prepping, mentally fit, physically strong. Her book is slated to be released, I guess, in a soft launch. She's going to have various, book shows, or I think she's doing a speaking engagement this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's a commencement address or speaking engagement.
Okay.
Or if it's tied in with the book.
Okay.
So it could be any of the above mentioned topics. Before we get to any of the topics, I need to speak with you about something.
Uh-oh. What's going on, Ted?
And this is totally unrehearsed and everything else like that.
Totally unscripted.
Totally
unrehearsed.
I needed to know your thoughts on Aliens Covenant. A little birdie told me.
Little birdie told you?
You went to go see Aliens Covenant. And before we get to any topics or anything and tell you, Late Night Parents, go to latenightparents.com, Richie V, Late Night Rich, Real Ted Hicks. I want to know about Aliens Covenant. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs sideways.
Thumbs mostly up.
Is it a prequel to Prometheus, or was it a prequel?
No, it's a prequel to Alien. So if I have this correct, the storyline is Alien, then Aliens, then Resurrection. I forgot what the other one was. But the first one, it looks like the total first one is Prometheus.
Okay.
This happens after Prometheus.
Okay.
Covenant happened, and I guess this is supposed to be a trilogy, so there's one more.
Okay.
And then that one will be the tie-in between this trilogy and Alien.
Oh, okay. So will we see Sigourney Weaver in the next one, or
we could
a digitally enhanced Sigourney Weaver?
So what I've heard is that I'm not really giving anything away here. I don't believe
no.
A female character in this film is supposedly Ripley's mother. That's what I've heard. I haven't been able to confirm in Covenant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been able to confirm that, but that's what I've heard, and it kind of makes sense.
Okay, got you. So, but
it's good. Forget the special effects.
Okay.
Of course, these days we can say special effects in just about every movie are good, if not great. These are really good. The story is pretty good. It wasn't all of what it was more than what I was expecting. It gets beyond just the aliens running around, let it find us, let it kill us, that kind of thing.
Right.
There's storyline because they're building the backstory to bridge the whole Prometheus, aliens, the whole series together into one long storyline, a la Star Wars.
Gotcha. Hey, any way that you can make money Go right ahead. You know, I mean, it's like, hey, we laid this story out in the 1980s, but we're gonna bridge the prequel.
We're gonna show you how it all happens, and you really who's responsible for all of this madness and mayhem.
Gotcha.
You're like, okay.
All right. I mean, so here's the next piece: 3D or
not necessary. I did not see it in 3D.
Okay.
I don't know. Did they film this specifically in 3D, or would this be one of the semi-conversions? If they did it specifically in 3D and you can see it in that format release, I'd say why not? It's not going to hurt if it's a specific 3D film, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
It's because there's more of the alien coming around and hiding in the corners when that happens.
Okay.
It's not things splashing into your face, and it's not like Avatar 3D.
Gotcha.
3D really made Avatar an even better film. And I thought Avatar was great, but it's not quite that type. It almost would be a kitschy, over the top thing if they did it, because they'd have to enhance things and film in certain angles and do certain things in 3D for the sake of it, and it's not necessary.
Okay.
Good movie. I would say see it. I will probably see it again.
The second time you go to see it, will it be matinee or will it be kind of like a prime time?
It depends if the wife wants to see it.
Okay.
If she wants to see it, it'll be prime time.
Okay.
If she doesn't, then I can wait to do a matinee.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay. I just wanted to know because I know it was released Thursday night.
Yep.
For Friday, and I know you were there. So I wanted your thoughts on them because I know you've seen all the aliens, right? All
of the aliens. And some were better than others.
Okay.
But I enjoyed all of them.
What about Aliens vs. Predator?
I even enjoyed that.
Really?
I mean, it for what it was. Okay. It was not a thinking man's movie.
Yeah.
It was hunt, kill it, let Sanaa run around.
Was it really more of a knockoff? Like, hey, let's make some quick money?
Aliens versus Predator?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. It could have been anything versus anything.
Gotcha.
But it was entertaining.
All right. I just, like I said, I was always interested, and I did not go see it this weekend, and I was kind of wondering, like, is this really worth it? Because I fall into the category of I'll see some movies that I'll see the entire series.
Right.
And then, like, what was it, like a month ago? I went to go see the Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Eight, or yeah.
Fate of the Eight, or
I haven't
whatever.
seen that yet.
And I didn't see the previous 7.
You haven't?
Not at all.
Really?
Didn't see, and for me, as a standalone, and I was able to kind of
piece everything together.
Will I watch the previous 7? Probably not.
I would say watch the first one.
Okay.
Watch this. The second one doesn't have to exist, but it's an entertaining movie.
But even with that movie, there was a talk about 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then 4 actually happens before 3.
Yes. There is a situation like that too.
Like with that.
There is.
Well, you've been listening to Rich and Ted at the Movies, what used to be Siskel and Ebert.
It's Rich and Ted.
Or Ebert and Roper.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up on that one. Richie V, this past week, regardless, for cable news, has been one of those weeks, regardless whether you lean left or you lean right.
Mm-hmm.
It's been all about Trump Nation. What in the world is going on with the White House?
Now, you and I have had many conversations.
Yes.
In the background.
Yes.
Alone.
Offline. Talking about stuff. And this topic is no need to note whether you lean left or you lean right.
It goes beyond
like
any of that.
Right.
At this point,
yes.
It's beyond what your leanings are. I've always been saying I don't think he'll last 2 terms. 2 years.
2 years.
I don't think he's going to make 2 years.
You said that day one. November 9th. Yeah. 2016.
I still stand by that. I still say, and I don't mean it's going to be anything bad. I think it's going to be he says something or takes some action that isn't fully vetted or fully legal, and it's enough grounds for impeachment or worse for them to just, get him out of office. But, I mean, the man just can't stop saying whatever he wants to say. He can't control himself. It's like a kindergartner.
Okay. I'm going to roll with you on that. Mm-hmm. Or is it to the point where you have the 70-year-old mother or father that says what they want to say, and then that's that. And they're like, well, this is how I feel about the situation, and that's that.
Probably. I mean, granted, the man has been running his own multi-million-dollar corporations for decades.
Right.
And no one... Who knows when the last time anyone really told him no and didn't get the "you're fired" right afterwards?
I don't think anyone tells him no.
Probably not.
And I think on a lot of occasions, he gets the two situations misconstrued, mm-hmm. where, your local private business, mm-hmm. your local corporate business, privately owned business versus the government.
Right. And
where there's checks and balances.
Right. The two shall never cross.
Right.
And I will say the thought of run the government like a business in the fiscal sense, mm-hmm. for responsibility along those roads, I think is a good idea.
Right.
In general, it should be run fiscally conservatively, not just waste money.
Right.
That's kind of, No.
I
common sense belief.
Definitely agree with you.
But you can't run the government like a company, again, in that you're CEO and what you say goes, and you're directing it. You're not directing anything as the president. You just get to sign papers that the people have put forth, and you have to do what the people have requested, and the rest of the government, for that matter.
Or, quote unquote, the most powerful person in the world.
Yep.
You are also, and I might get in trouble for saying this, a figurehead.
No, you don't get in trouble for saying that, because it's true. Maybe not so much as other governments,
right?
Other monarchies in particular,
right? Where
the people who are quote unquote in power or lead the power really are just there, for pomp and circumstance. But no, you still have to abide by all branches of the government.
Correct.
You still have to follow the rules. You can't just make up laws. And I mean, yes, we've seen the executive orders coming down, which I've been saying that's going to backfire.
That's all we've seen.
That's all we've seen. Yeah, yeah. We haven't seen much actually work its way through the process. Have we?
No, the legislative arm is kind of like the judicial arm has basically said, you know what, get back.
Right.
Because everything that he's put forth, mm-hmm. for the most part, 99.9% they've shot down, mm-hmm. the judicial arm. And legislative is like, hey, you need to involve us when you're firing off missiles and stuff like that.
And of course, this is all happening when both houses are controlled by his party. And they're shutting him down.
So what does that tell you?
Where he probably thought, okay, I'm going to walk in and just do whatever the heck I want to do.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Those guys still want to be reelected as well. And they know at this point, if we just sign off on this guy and let him do whatever, we're all going to be out of here in 2 years, let alone 4 years.
I think when you take that role, it's sobering. I think it's like any other position, any other position in life that you've wanted and then you finally achieve, and then you finally attain that goal, and then you say, this is what it is.
See, I'm going to take a half a step back on your statement.
Okay.
And something else that I've said, and I think you said it as well.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want this job.
He didn't want it.
He did not think he was going to win. He didn't want this job for reasons which we'll still probably never fully well, we kind of know why, but 30 years from now, when
mm-hmm.
when we're reading about this in the history books and mm-hmm. whatever other little tidbits come out as to how this was able to happen, he didn't want to be there. No. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be in the White House. He doesn't want to be controlled, because now he has to do what he's told to do.
Right.
He can't just get up and go when he wants.
Right.
He's got to sit there and listen to meetings every day. Remember, he didn't even want to sit in on the meetings. Let Pence go do it. No. I'm going to put all these guys in my cabinet and be my senior advisors. No, none of them are freaking qualified, and they're all getting kicked out.
But in his eyes, he's like, oh, no, I'll just be the CEO.
Right.
You guys can be the line managers. Mm-hmm. And then when something needs to bubble up or gets pushed up, after it's been fully vetted
Right.
Then I can come in, I can make a ruling. And
they're not his board of directors.
No, they're
which
not.
is what he was thinking it was.
They're not.
And I mean, it's also telling. Remember the fact that statement he made was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Now it's harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's harder than what I thought it was going to be. It was something.
What have we done?
Something this morning. I was watching Marco Rubio, senator in Florida. He said, "Well, the American people got what they got exactly what they voted for."
Yeah, Republican senators saying this.
You got senators saying, you got Jeb and a whole host of others that are saying this. And this is not a segment to beat on the president.
No, not at all.
There's nothing subjective here or anything. We're just stating the facts. You're just looking this past week, there wasn't one day. I guess we'll close this segment with me asking you, Rich, like, if there's a meeting taking place in a specific room,
right,
and there's 4 or 5 individuals in the room,
right,
2 of them are Russians.
Yes.
Our president makes the third. So there's like 2. McMaster's is one, and there might be 1 or 2 other people in the room. How is this stuff leaking?
Do you call it a leak, or is it just a transfer of information?
I guess.
But you don't want to believe that that at that level you can have that less amount. That's that limited amount of forethought to think, no, I can't tell them XYZ, because we don't know whatever information was given back and forth. So we're just reading, okay, at least I haven't seen it if we are, that some secrets information at some level was given to the Russians, allegedly.
Right.
Now, we don't know what it was. Sure, some reports are saying that it was valid information that we would share, which, of course, you still want to say, well, then, vet it before you share it, even if it's valid. Don't just go yapping your mouth. But we don't know. And it doesn't make sense. And just the fact that, you're doing it in a way so it leads everyone to ask these questions is the problem.
I don't want to talk about the former FBI director or anything else that's going to happen down the pike.
Tick.
Yeah.
Tick.
Tick, tick, or drip, drip.
Yep. That's going to be the one.
I'll just leave it there, because that can just be an ongoing conversation.
Yes.
This is Late Night Parents, and we'll quickly go into a segment that might spill a little bit from a couple of segments over, and I'll say this word to you. This name is 2 words. Lavar Ball.
Me and my shoes. You like my shoes?
But he's got, it's when this guy makes an appearance, he is trending #1 on social media whenever he makes an appearance. And tonight's conversation with us, here's my angle.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's our angle that I want to present to our listeners is, okay, what we've seen with this gentleman, not knocking his parenting skills or anything else like that, because we are the first ones to promote our children.
Absolutely.
We are the first ones to promote and support and all the above.
Absolutely.
I'm just talking about the fact that you have someone that appears to be very thirsty to sell their sneakers, some overpriced sneakers, and you have a network, Fox Sports, that has had Lavar on 8 times and 5 different podcasts, and they basically allow him to just spew whatever he's going to spew. I know this is all a ratings game and promotion and free promotion and everything else like that. But at what point does this explode, or end very badly?
Well, I don't know so his game is probably, yes, let me sell my sneakers so that I can get another major manufacturer to buy them and buy the name and run away with $1 billion. But he's only there because of his children.
Right.
And as we kind of said before, I'll call it his shenanigans are hurting his children.
Yeah. I agree.
And, if the teams are saying, well, the boys are awesome players, that we want them, but we don't want him along with it.
Right.
So as we've kind of said, at what point do the sons get to the point where they have to say, Dad, I'm sorry, but I have to get my own management, and you are not a part of my team anymore. And then he's just out there. Because I don't know about the sneakers. I've seen pictures.
Right.
Sneakers on my game.
I'm just gonna say sneakers for $4.95 and slides for $2.20.
Yeah. Okay.
And he has a version of the sneakers that come in the glass case for $9.95. Not $9.95
hey, I know.
either.
So then, all right. So, because you're more the sports guy than I am anyway.
Okay.
Always admitted to that. Why are these sneakers worth anything? Anything? Because he's not a. Then I don't know. Are they being produced and manufactured by a major sports company, or a major shoe company?
He is your indie record company. He is. You remember when, after 50's Interscope deal came to an end?
Yep.
And he said, I'm doing this independent now.
Right.
So there's no major backing.
Okay.
There's no major backing from Adidas, Nike, Under Armour.
Right. Okay.
And for the folks that are waiting for Reebok to say something, Adidas owns Reebok.
Right.
Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Rich, I'm at a loss for words.
So then this is really, and I mean, maybe we'll say, oh, duh. But this is a fashion statement sneaker, not a functional.
No, I don't think this is a functional. This is not a functional sneaker. And what he's doing, I'm not going to knock his hustle, because what he's doing is something that hasn't been done. Okay? So we might turn back 20, 30 years from now as we're looking through the history books at Donald Trump, and we might also, there might be a page for Lavar Ball. Who knows?
But then I'll say, Starberry.
Right.
I mean,
you think of Starberry. Think of that. Think of how much money he's made from selling inexpensive sneakers.
But there's your key.
Inexpensive.
So people say, all right, they look okay. There's enough cred, whatever, so someone will wear them and not, it's no big deal.
Right.
And you sell them cheap and you sell gazillions of them.
Yeah. That's what he's done in Shanghai.
And, maybe that's Mr. Ball's play.
Maybe.
The global play.
Maybe.
And get something out there in Shanghai, in Korea, drum up with some interest for these and get them to start selling out there. Maybe.
There was an incident that happened on Thursday. So Lavar Ball was going through what's called a car wash. And that's what ESPN and Fox Sports does. They'll basically take one guest and push him through all their shows.
Okay.
So it's kind of, you kind of get that feel, like a car wash.
All right.
You're just getting pushed on through. And there was a situation that happened where a female co-host and Ball kind of clashed.
Okay.
Now, before they clashed, he's known for saying, outrageous stuff and everything else like that. And, it's trying to sell his T-shirts and hats and all this other stuff.
All right.
And hot, stuff. The female co-host had said on a previous show, had a few, I guess, jokes about his parenting skills that I guess got back to him. Okay. So it was very awkward.
To have him in the same studio with her.
Yes. She tried to ask a question. He shut her down.
All right.
And social media was on fire, and people,
I caught some of that.
Yeah, half of the people were like, "Oh, he was being, obnoxious, and he was being a sexist," and she also said she felt threatened.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah, it was that, and then you had the other side of social media. It was just like, yeah. He should have.
Yeah, he's going back at her because she opened her mouth.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was kind of like 50-50. But the one thing that this guy is viral. And Fox Sports, there's a reason why. They've had him on 5 podcasts, and they've showcased him on 8 separate shows.
To get viewership.
That's all that matters.
True. And then he flames out, and next month it's done, and on to the next story.
It's all about, the stuff that we always talk about. It's all about the clicks.
Yeah.
How many viewers, how many clicks, how many people are watching this, whether they're watching it on social media or they watched it live or blah, 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 blah. I will tell you this much, Rich. What haven't we mentioned in the segment? We haven't mentioned Lonzo Ball, his son. But I tell you this much. At that draft on June 22nd, and the Summer League is probably going to be the most watched Summer League event because his father has hyped him up so much. I think globally, they're going to be looking at his son.
Is he all that?
Son is pretty good.
He's pretty good, but is he all that?
His son in the Elite 8, I think it was, during March Madness, was scorched. But outside of that game, this guy is pretty good.
Okay.
Is he a once-in-a-generation type player?
Right.
No, I don't think so. Is he 15 and 7 and maybe 5 rebounds? Yeah, probably.
What number does he get drafted, do you think?
Everyone's pointing towards number 2.
Okay.
And what the father has said is, I want him to go play for the Lakers. I wanted to play under Magic Johnson.
To get mentorship?
And in my Lavar Ball voice, Lonzo doesn't need mentorship.
Did he really say this?
Yeah. He's just totally out there. Like I said, we're all parents.
So, okay. So, if he's going out there like that, Lonzo doesn't need mentorship.
Yes.
Is he putting a target on his son?
Yes, he is.
So now...
And I know those pro NBA players can't wait to scorch him.
Right. Okay. First time he goes up for that layup, it's like, I'm taking this foul.
Yeah. You're going to hit the floor.
Okay.
So I think that's what his father has done. This is Late Night Parents. We're going to segue. Rich, something I have to ask you is, it seems like this WannaCry ransomware stuff doesn't end.
It's not going away. So here's a little interesting tidbit I read today about WannaCry. That the number of machines infected that were running XP, minuscule, negligible.
Really?
Yes. This is according to, was it Semantic or was it, wasn't Sophos. It was one of the other major vendors. Okay. Negligible.
Sure, Micro or?
No, I'll be able to track it down.
Okay.
The majority were running Windows 7.
Wow.
Now, I think this goes to one. Okay, so even though we know there's still a lot of XP machines out there, there's still a minimal number.
Okay.
Now, the Windows 10 machines, which it is now it's the most popular OS out there, but because of what Microsoft did initially, that they ramped back. But initially, remember, forced updates. You got your updates in Windows 10, like it or not. They were pushed, and that was it.
Yes.
It might still be on a lot of machines, so they got the updates, which blocked them from getting this virus. But Windows 7 didn't have it. They weren't being forced to get your updates, and so many people never either allow them or never do the shutdown and click the shutdown and reboot and install updates.
Gotcha.
So the majority of machines were Windows 7 machines.
That is so strange. I really thought it was going to be the opposite.
So did I, which is what made me think about it to mention it here.
Right.
But no, it's not going to go away, and they're going to be looking for more ways to try to and do this again. Ransomware has been the most misused form of malware over the last couple of years. It's only going to get worse now.
Right.
But maybe, it also, at this point, seems like it is the one thing which is most easily avoidable. I mean, in the case of this, if you had your Windows up, if you had no external third-party virus software on your computer, and you had Microsoft Security Essentials installed, and you were allowing your machine to do updates, you were safe.
You were safe.
You had nothing to worry about.
Microsoft Security Essentials.
Which is the only thing I run on my computer, and has been the only thing I've run for about 5 years.
That was birthed from Starberry Software in Northport, Long Island.
Really?
Yes.
Get out of here.
I can tell you that because I have one of my real close friends was working there, and they were purchased by Microsoft.
Good for them. Hope they made a good couple of dollars.
Yes.
And it's effective. It works.
Oh, it really does. I had someone, believe it or not, in church approach me about antivirus. And the first thing I asked them was, "Are you what version of Windows are you running?"
Right.
And they mentioned 10. I said, "It's already baked in. You don't have to do anything."
Right. Just get your updates.
I said, "Just restart your machine."
Well, select the option.
Yeah.
So if people restart or just do shutdown, it's got updates. I don't want to do that. They click on the shutdown without updates. That's one of the debates here. There was someone at CNET had written an article about where this could be going, and there are many ways we could almost enforce updates. You don't want to do. People will complain at what is the most draconian, but in some ways it has been done. If your machine doesn't meet certain updates, you're kicked off the network.
I think that's perfect.
I'm not thinking that's a bad idea either.
In
our world, it's great.
It's great. That's what you need. Hey, if you don't have XYZ, you're not getting on the network. Period.
But the general public, you can't do that. But that's the mess. That is the far end of the spectrum for the general public. Do that. Even though you look at the analogy was like what Samsung did with the Note 7s and all the battery issues. And when it got to the point where they're like, all right, well, you've got to turn these things in.
Yes.
We're doing a recall. You can't keep it. You can't use it. And what they do when at certain point they say, you know what, we're just going to push this update and your phone is bricked.
Yeah.
And
I think when it gets to that point, you have to, because people are hard-headed.
Yep.
People are hard-headed. People will hit, hey, I'm going to delay this. I mean, think about it. I think about in the Apple world, how many times I hit delay on installs until the next day.
Right. And, a short delay is fine. I again, we being IT guys, I am perfectly fine with forced updates. You can delay it 3 times.
Okay.
I think 3 times, or 3 times, or 2 weeks, whichever comes first.
And then that's it.
And you're going to get it regardless for security updates.
Okay.
Now, if it's just an application feature update, all right, you can install that when you want.
Okay.
But at the same token, then updates have to be fully separated into that. So right now when you get your Office update, let's just say, not to pick Microsoft, but just because, if it's they do now say there's security updates, critical updates, but they have to separate them even more so
with
that
the optional
purely.
Yes.
Right. So security updates, you're getting that regardless.
Right.
Optionals, feature updates, all right. Get that whenever you want to.
Gotcha.
And the world is a safer place and a better place. And your computer's a safer place, better place. And you don't worry about making that phone call because you just lost all your data.
It's true. And you lost all your data because you aren't running a Cronus.
Which one of my clients, I just sent them the information and should be setting them up next week.
Okay. Sometime this week, send me a reminder so that I can get you a license.
Yes.
Because the good people there at Cronus have, I was speaking with them, and they were like, yes. I told them specifically about you. I was like, hey, got another IT guru, and Boom, boom, boom.
Love to see it. I went through everything they have online, and it looks great.
Yes.
And again, my clients will probably just sign up for it, and so now they will have the full correct backup solution, because I've already had them on a local backup, doing copying in the background on a regular basis.
Right.
But of course, having just one copy sitting in the same office doesn't count. So now they will have cloud-based. They will be set, and life will be good.
So something came out on, I'm not sure which day, towards the end of the week, a message from IBM. Mm-hmm. IBM orders its remote workers back into
the office.
Will this become the new norm?
I think it's interesting. I don't know what level of workers. Do they get still everyone within the company that are remote workers? If
you're located, I think, X amount of miles from an office,
you have to come to work.
You have to physically report into an office.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's fine. I would wonder why. Because what have we heard all these years as remote working has become more of an option? Mm-hmm. That you'll hear reports of studies that say people are more efficient when they're allowed to work from home.
Of course,
right?
Of course. But I think it's all dollars and cents. And when a company isn't obtaining that specific margin or that specific number, you got to try something different.
That's true. But does this end up, I guess this doesn't cost them anymore, because people now, it's not like the company pays for you to get to work.
Right.
How many people will they lose because that option was of an important option for them to be able to work from home? Be interesting to see that. And how many people does this affect? Was it within a certain region, or is it across the board?
I think it's across the board.
That's pretty big.
I think it's across the board. They're still using their Lotus products. They're still using, their Lotus products, Rich.
You said Lotus. I thought Ami Pro.
I know.
Lotus Notes.
What is Lotus Mort Suite?
But what else are they going to use? It's IBM.
Yeah.
That's an interesting call. I mean, for them to decide, there has to be some true business reason for that.
Yeah.
I mean, because now in some ways it's going to cost them more money. Just because now they have to staff buildings, electricity,
Right. But I'm thinking if they already have the facility and the facility is empty.
Yeah, if that's the case.
The facility is empty and you're just like, hey, we're going to put bodies in here.
Yeah.
I think it kind of blows for the people that have been working remote for the last 12, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And they, that meet their goals. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, wait a minute, you're now adding on 3 additional hours.
Right.
And X amount of dollars in gas and commuting fees.
Yeah, it's even worse for those, again, parents, those who have children who work, they do this specifically because kids get home at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Right.
They get off. Mom or dad is there to pick them up.
Right.
What's up now?
So I'm guessing we're also going to be seeing or hearing about a mass exodus.
Yeah, you would think. What was the time frame on this? When does it become effective?
You know what? I can't give you the answer on that. I was just going through it and looking at it, and I was just like, man, this blows.
They've got to give them a fair amount of time.
Yeah, I'm sure
to
it's
make arrangements, things like that.
90 days.
I would think even more than that.
And that's aggressive.
Yeah.
So... this is Late Night Parents. You can catch us latenightparents.com. You can catch us on the Facebook page.
I've got something for you. Something funny. But this goes into something you'll appreciate. We're going to roll back just a little bit to semi-political talk.
Oh, okay.
President Johnson, as in Dwayne Johnson.
I was going to say Lyndon Johnson.
So it's not clear if he's serious about this 2020 run, he and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I think it might be testing the waters a little bit.
Were you watching SNL?
No, I missed it, but I heard about it. that was all the jokes. But now you're seeing articles about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, he said it before.
Yeah, he said it before. You can't say no.
Right. Not at this point.
Not at this point, because... But though I do think after this go around, people will want to go back to having just their politician. They might. I don't know.
They might. Or they'll go back to actually listening to what the person is saying.
Yeah. If they're spewing venom and hate, and you're just like screaming, lock someone up.
Then no, I don't think we want this guy.
I don't think I really want this person. We'll wait and see on that one.
Yeah, but I thought it was interesting. It's like, it was a skit,
yes.
But people are saying, well,
this could work. This could work.
Well, that was funny. The wrestling man that you are.
Yes. I mean, there's no one more likable,
right?
More marketable.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting $25 million a movie.
That's insane.
And points on the gate,
and everything else he does, all the
HBO
advertising
and this, and come on, everything he touches.
Goodyear, Firestone,
yes,
yeah,
Midas.
So that was it.
That's cool. Wanted to mention one of my shows that I like to watch. I've binged it more.
Okay.
12 Monkeys.
I have not. No, I haven't.
Based on the film, The 12 Monkeys, the book, and the movie version. Okay. It's a TV show on SciFi Network. And I've watched it the past couple of years.
Okay.
The third season started on Friday.
Okay.
Why am I bringing this up?
Why are you bringing this up, Ted?
Because SciFi is kicking the tires on something. Yeah. SciFi Network has released the entire season.
Oh.
They're like, you don't have to wait for the 13 or 15 weeks. We're going to release everything for you.
Interesting.
A la Netflix.
Yeah.
A la Netflix. We're gonna release it, the entire season, so you guys can binge it this weekend.
Right.
The twist was, we're going to release 4 episodes on Friday, 4 or so episodes Saturday, and the same on Sunday.
That's all right. So you can wait till Sunday night or wait till Sunday and see the whole season.
Right. Or watch 4 hours each night, and they could care less how you consume it.
Right.
And
are they including advertising in their streaming?
Yes.
Okay, so they're not losing as much.
No.
And it's still obviously going to air on cable on the networks. So that's kind of a win-win then.
It is kind of a win. And I said, you know what? That's kind of smart. So thumbs up to SciFi for those of you that are in the U.S. that receive the SciFi Network. I'm not sure of the cost or of the subscription for that station, but I like that idea. And I want to, hopefully, more stations
go that route. Now, that's SciFi. That's actually part of, here where we are, I think that's even part of your basic cable plan. So that's really a win for them.
Oh, yeah. And SciFi is, I believe, part of one of the companies under the parent company of NBC.
Okay.
So
together.
Pretty good. I wanted to get your take on something because we're almost entering our final segment.
Mm-hmm.
The next incoming tech battle, it will be based around digital assistants.
The battle is here.
I don't know if you were viewing the Google I/O.
No, but I didn't get a chance to read the articles before heading over here, but I did see almost a shots fired kind of message.
Yes.
That Apple, you need to look out because Google is here and they're making a play. I didn't see what the play was, so tell me.
Yes. Well, if you look in the world of assistants, so you got your Google product, your Google Home, you got, of course you have Siri, Cortana, with Microsoft,
and Alexa.
And you got Alexa. So the big deal, or what was discussed this week, was being able to send text messages and or phone dialing someone through your device.
Which seems logical.
Which seems totally logical. And I tested out the theory yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Siri. That feature is not available yet for Apple.
Okay.
I mean, well, to a degree, it is available, but not...
I mean, okay, you can tell Siri to send a text
you can tell
message
Siri
and
to call someone, but
it goes through your device,
right?
Not through your external Siri device.
Yes. So you have that. I tested it. I went through and launched my Alexa app.
Mm-hmm.
There was a new update waiting for me,
mm-hmm.
and guess what, Rich? I was able to go into my phone book.
Yep.
And I was able to send text messages and or voice messages
mm-hmm.
and make a call.
Through Alexa.
So
simple, state the command, Alexa, send text message to whoever, blah, 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 blah.
With the caveat,
okay,
the person has to own an Alexa.
Okay, so it's an Alexa
yes.
medium.
Yes.
That's okay. Now,
that's okay.
Is it aware to know that if the person either if the recipient doesn't respond or if their Alexa is turned off, does it forward to another device?
I did two different things. It looked through my contacts
mm-hmm.
to see other folks that are registered, and so I saw that contact list.
Okay.
But then I was also able to make phone calls to like my cell phone.
That's pretty good.
You know,
and using the Alexa as your end, and then to your phone for the recipient.
Yes, but I'm thinking that's because I'm Alexa on both ends. That's what I'm thinking. So, and I unboxed the Google Home,
mm-hmm.
set it up, easy as can be.
Mm-hmm.
Features that were announced, they're going to be released shortly. They're not released now.
Okay.
So I just used it primarily yesterday to listen to podcasts and to listen to live radio
mm-hmm.
and kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
Cortana, for the most part, haven't really used it too tough on a Windows 10 device.
Neither have I.
It's kind of just there.
It's there, right.
It's there. But I wanted to just, put it out there because I think it's a market. I mean, as Amazon takes over the world,
mm-hmm.
the rest of these guys are looking for the crumbs.
As Amazon's drone drops another Alexa in your backyard.
Yes. Something I saw, an article that's going to be released on Monday on Late Night Parents, talks about the crowded space of driverless cars and startups.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 236 companies. Everyone just thinks of Intel, Google, and Uber.
Right. And Apple now.
And Apple.
Yeah.
There's a total of 236 companies that are looking at the technology. Believe it or not.
Creating their own spaces.
Yes.
That'll get shaken out, though.
Yeah.
You would think for the majority of those smaller companies, they're looking to come up with the one invention, the one idea that makes a difference, and then get bought by one of the big five, so it's incorporated. Yeah. Because they're not going to go out there and manufacture the cars. It's all the software that's driving it. So that's what these people are going to do, and that's fine. I mean, that's what Apple does. That's what Microsoft does. That's what Google does. You see something, it looks good, you buy it, and you incorporate it, and that's it. So
that's true.
That's interesting.
That is true. So those are kind of like some of the hot topics that are happening, that are going on, that kind of some of the stuff that we've been looking into. Anything on your horizon, tech-wise, that you're looking at?
Well, I'm looking to. We were just talking about the home assistants. Like I said, I have an Amazon Echo Dot.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to start more actively using that. Because, once in a while I'll listen to some music on it. Alexa, play whatever, and it works great. Just going back to our conversation, the text messaging and telephone point-to-point communications, that's, I'm wondering what they're doing there, if this is going to become, this is the intercom basically to someone else's home. We're almost going back to having a phone, but it's an IP-based phone.
That's what I can kind of see. If you look at that, what's going to be coming out shortly, or it might be available now, the Echo Show, where it's going to kind of going back to having that hardline, hardwired phone.
So that's what I want to start looking at for myself. Have had some conversations with some of the tool manufacturers from the event I went to at Home Depot a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We'll have a couple of guests on the show in the near future.
Okay.
Gentlemen from Bosch will be on to discuss their products, and also looking at having someone, I think Riobe as well will be on. So doing a lot there. They're sending some product out for me to evaluate and look at, so I'm looking forward to receiving that.
I just like the cordless technology that they're pushing.
And everyone is going fully behind that now.
I really like that.
And batteries are so much better than they used to be.
Yes.
So much more power.
I'm also hearing that Riobe, and maybe with Milwaukee and a few others, it's one standard battery.
I know for a fact that is with Riobe. I just don't remember for the other vendors. But so when we purchased our house in 2001. Went to Home Depot. This is a shameless plug, but it's the truth. Went to Home Depot.
Okay.
For $199, there was a Riobe wireless kit that had a Sawzall, a circular saw, a flashlight, and the drill, and the battery, and a charger. $199. I said, all right, this is great. I bought that. 2001. I built my basement with those 4 tools and, my hammer. Everything. And still, that entire kit, besides, the only thing I've had to do is change batteries. First battery died after about 6 or 7 years. That's more than fine.
Right.
Bought another one. The second battery, it still works great. And recently picked up a kit with a brand new Riobe drill, hammer drill and all that, and a new battery. It all works together. The 16-year-old battery fits into the charger for the day-old device. It charges. It works. I can swap the batteries around. Perfect. They were thinking. They were smart.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I'm sure. Rigid was doing the same thing. Milwaukee has a lot. Bosch has a huge line of battery-powered devices. It's I don't know if generationally they are compatible. But that's the way everyone is going. And now they're getting brushless motors, so much more power. The batteries last a long time. They're a lot lighter. It's a good time to want to play with tools.
It's nice. It's nice. Richie V, next week, I'm hearing we're going to be out in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, always funky fresh.
Yeah, I'm hearing we're going to be out in Brooklyn. Stay tuned on that.
Okay.
We will definitely have the show here next week. Probably won't be live.
All right.
But other than that, I think...
I look forward to that. Let's get out there.
Yeah, it's just a different environment. One of our affiliates. We're going to be out there, and we'll see what happens out there. It's something we want to do. We love our home out in West Babylon, New York. But quarterly, we've been talking about, going to do some road shows.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Okay. That's the first one in Dumbo, Brooklyn. And we shall see. So other than that, I guess it's time to close this baby on out.
Time to wrap it up.
Best ways to get in contact with you, Richie B?
The new Twitter, the new old Twitter, at Late Night Rich.
Oh, my goodness.
Still fully embracing the brand. That's only so I can rant and rave on Richie V and not be associated with Late Night.
Yes.
And Facebook, The Real Richie V.
That's where you can fully rant, and you're just like, here you go.
Yeah, here you go.
Where You're doing it the smart way. I'm just the wild man as myself, just ranting and spewing, and people are just
like, who is this guy?
But I got to tell you, I've been catching so many different followers from these rants. Yeah. I'm like, okay, let me tone it down a bit because, when your employer peeks in and says, okay, what does this guy talk about?
Yeah.
You're just like,